All right, you guys, Drake Riggs here for SCMP MMA with Miss Pannie Kianzad. Good to see you, Pannie. How are you enjoying the heat here in Arizona? Because it's a little different than Sweden, right?
Yeah, it's a bit different, but I mean, we've been to Abu Dhabi and Vegas, so it's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just want to wish a happy birthday to Biggie from last month, right? What did you do to celebrate for the little guy?
Well, Biggie, we had a little gathering, and I made him like a dog cake and took him to the park and met his friends. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah.
Hey, he deserves it, right?
Yeah.
All right, Pannie. Well, you're taking on Alexis Davis here this week. And a veteran of the sport, obviously been a pioneer, really, of the Bantamweight division. But weird spot because unranked, just kind of came back into the division with her last fight. And, you're on a hot roll right now. So were you kind of surprised to get her for this fight?
No, not at all. I mean, we were scheduled to fight Raquel Pennington, which is a veteran herself and fought for the title like Alexis Davis. And we said that, okay, if our fight falls through and we don't get a ranked opponent, then I want a really good name and a really good fighter to fight. So, but yeah, it's not going to stop me anyway. I mean, rankings really, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just thinking about my next win, and I'm thinking about performing and, just showing a superior version of myself.
Is it kind of nice to have an opponent too, where you have so much footage on them because she's been around for so long?
Yeah, but you know what? If we think about it, I'm doing my 20th or 21st fight, so there's a lot of footage of me too.
Right.
I mean, footage doesn't mean anything. I mean, the only thing that means something is fight night. So.
Yeah, very true. And you're looking fantastic right now with the winning streak that you're on. Arguably best you've ever been, right? Fair to say. So I'm just curious, what do you attribute this current run to that you're on?
Honestly, I think it's age. I think it's when I hit 27, 28. I think I started, I went pro so early. I went pro at 21, and I've been fighting since I was 13. So I always thought I was already hitting my peak, but I didn't even know where the peak started until, now. And I just think I matured, and I'm training way smarter now than I used to. I have a good team around me. But most of all, you know what? I don't want people around me that do not think I can be champ. Because if they don't think I can be champ, I cannot work with you.
Right.
And I just want a crew and people to believe in the process and trusting the process, and that we will come to the main goal, and that's to be champion. But we have a really hard task in front of us that we're gonna solve on Saturday.
Definitely. And I know you were doing some desk analyst work in Sweden, right? For some of the UFC Sweden stuff, right? Or whatever it was. I mean, has that kind of helped a little bit mentality wise and just being able to, maybe assess fights a little bit better? Yeah,
so just before I even got contracted to, my first contract to fight in UFC, I got a job for the Swedish Viaplay as a commentator. My first job was in a studio for UFC Sweden. But yes, then I did UFC Copenhagen, but now I'm commentating regularly for all the UFC and Cage Warriors events. It makes you study. Right. What you're doing, and then you watching fights constantly, and you see everything that you can see people progress, and you can see that MMA is getting so much better. Yeah, so definitely it's helped me. It's like I'm training without physically training.
Right. That's a good way to look at it. And so obviously not to look too far ahead or anything, got Alexis Davis in front of you, but the division, still pretty open, I think, in terms of contenders. And you're on, I think, tied with Carol Hossa for the longest winning streak outside of Nunes right now. Yeah. Are you thinking beyond a little bit, just looking at the landscape of things, because everybody's a little bit booked up right now, or they've either fought Amanda, Raquel, obviously somebody you wanted to fight, but I mean, there's a Macy rematch there. Do you think about those things right now, or not really?
Right now, it's only Alexis, and but we can have this chat after.
Yes.
Then I can tell you what I want.
Indeed. So I mentioned, the lack of contenders maybe in the division so far at this moment, but Juliana Pena getting the title shot against Amanda Nunes. Just kind of curious your thoughts on the fight and, her getting the shot in general.
I mean, who else right now? So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just wait for it after Saturday.
Yeah.
No, this is like, I'm thinking about, like, they have a little grudge thing going on, and Pena is really good at marketing herself. And, I mean, she's only on a one-fight winning streak, and she lost to Jermaine, but you know what? Who else is going to take it right now? She wanted it now. And, I mean, if you call up the other girls, they won't be ready. So why not just give it to her and see what she can do and just, like, take it from there? And then we have a bunch of girls, like, upcoming. I mean, you have a lot of people in, like, Aspen Ladd, Macy Chasson, and me.
Yeah.
So we will see after this weekend what happens.
Yeah. Even Jessie, who you beat twice now.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking great in the last
Yeah,
fight.
she looked really good, and I'm really happy to see what's going on for her after this. So.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, Pannie, we got Invicta back now. So Invicta this week, you were part of Invicta's history a little bit there. And since your time there, they've adapted open scoring into the mix. So I'm just kind of curious, you know, what do you think about the open scoring idea? Do you like that, or mixed feelings? Or
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Just because a fighter can stall. If you know you're up, then you can just like stall the last round, and then if you know you're down, you can just go for it. So it's like mixed, but I wouldn't want it for UFC.
And last thing I got for you, Pannie, you know, the lone female from Sweden representing, you know, the country here in the UFC. Is that something you think about to be like a strong role model and representative for your country and be like, you know, just the forefront of it, of the country for your sport and, you know, from Sweden?
Yeah. We are three UFC girls from Sweden, but definitely I had a role since like the beginning. And I do feel like a leader for it, and I feel like I'm getting better and better at it every year. Every year that I'm like getting older, but I'm getting kind of wiser. It's such an old talk for me. You know, after I turned 29, I started like, you know, wearing comfortable stuff.
Right.
I just like went down in fashion and just wear comfortable.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I just like, no, I'll let myself go now. But yeah, so I do see myself as that, but not only as, you know, just a Swede, but I mean, I have a Persian background. So I'm from Iran. I'm born in Iran, but I'm representing like, I'm a good example of somebody that doesn't need to be like looking Swedish, but I am Swedish as well. And I think we need a lot of that in Sweden.
Yeah, very fair, very fair. So, all right, Pannie, wish you the best of luck.
you so
Looking
much.
forward to the fight. Great to get to talk to you in person.
You
so
too.
thank you so much.
Thanks.